Hello everyone, Zen4 here. Before we start, just to wish everyone Happy New Year. Today I'm bringing you a score dungeon guide for Mt Nibel, and with that I'm gonna just show you my setup. Now I try to optimize the best I can with my teams and my weapons, the best possibility for high scores. Just be aware this is not a free-to-play guide, and it's not a well guide either, but it's mainly the way I just managed to clean the dungeon, and with that I just hope to give you some guidelines related to the content itself and the mechanisms of the dungeon. My setup is fairly easy. Lucia as earth magic damage with some magic potency, Sephiroth as ice damage with some magic potency, and Tifa as a physical DPS ice and heal as a backup. For limit breaks, you're gonna realize that I use Ramu on Lucia. Sephiroth, as usual, is gonna go with Shiva, and instead of bahamut, I prefer to use the debuff from Tifa. I think it's more worth it and profitable related to the dungeon run, and I will explain as soon as we go through the dungeon. Instead of using Bald Eagle on Lucia as an hybrid, I prefer to use Ice Deep Breach and use the Bald Eagle potency on Tifa's to increase her potency and damage itself. You're gonna realize that I got Earth Materia on Sephiroth and Tifa just to support on the Earth weakness bosses. As we start the dungeon, we go directly to Scorpion, and as we know, Scorpion is weak to ice, so the main tactic on this boss is using Lucia in the beginning for Ice Breach. Try to do as much ice damage as possible. Sephiroth is quite slow on charging his own abilities, so I'm gonna use Freezing Blow from Tifa, and by the countdown of Scorpion you are gonna be able to cast 3 Freezing Blows before he casts Tail Laser, and with that we're gonna be able to kill him before he even manage to cast and do some damage to us. With Scorpion down, we just gonna choose our first buff, and normally I tend to go for Ice Potency if is available, that in this case it is. I prefer to use Ice Potency instead of Earth, just for the simple fact that in the end against Ifrit we're gonna need the Ice Potency itself. I don't take the score bonus on the first boss because the dropback on magic and physical is quite big, and it will damage us on the long term. With that, we go to the left, we take the chests, and we go to the group of little mobs, fighting the minions and the small groups. The big issue with players is about the poison itself. One of the easiest ways to clear them is targeting one by one the dogs on the left and right first with ice abilities, and then the queen in the middle. The queen doesn't attack as fast as the dog, so you got more than time to kill her before she do a big jump on you, and with that you're gonna be able to carry on the dungeon without wiping one of your characters. Carry on the dungeon, we just get the chest. On this run I'm gonna try not to use any items. Most of the times I only use one item, that is the cottage, and I tend to use it before I go for Ifrit. We go directly to Crawler, and you're gonna see that my percentage on HP from the small group and the first boss is only 3% at the moment, because we are trying to avoid any kind of damage and try to kill them as fast as possible. Starting the crawler with 2 minions, again same situation, both of them are weak against ice, so we just wipe them out as fast as we can. This is where I'm gonna start to use Tifa's limit break to debuff the boss, to increase a little bit the magic potency from my Lucia and my Sephiroth, and on this fight it's literally spamming DPS as much as we can, freezing blows, Sephiroth abilities, Lucia Earth abilities, you're gonna notice that Sephiroth doesn't choose Earth because the ice potency and his damage with ice overlaps the materia damage for Earth. Even if it's weak, the damage with ice is gonna be higher. So you need to take that in consideration. With my Tifa, the damage between freezing blow and the materia is slightly better. So I try to use the freezing blow because I'm doing the dungeon for a long time, so it's easier for me and faster in a certain way. With that, the mall crawler is done. We got 67,000 points, not bad for a 200k team. We gonna start to choose score points, so we don't gonna take any other abilities, any other buffs, we just gonna go for score boosts, and we go directly from one boss to another. Related to the king, the tactic that I use is quite simple. He's quite weak, to be fair, he doesn't have any ads, so I tend to use the 3 limit breaks straight away from the beginning of the fight, in perspective of charging them up on the next boss to go with full limit breaks for Ifrit itself. The damage that he takes from ice, even not being weak against ice, is quite high, and that's one of the reasons that I prefer to use the limit break straight away on Valor King itself. And with Lucia finishing him, he doesn't even touch us, he doesn't even do an attack most of the times, keeping the percentage of our HP around 3 to 5%, ready to go for the twins. Related to ability, again, score boost, that's gonna be the main focus on this run, since what we want is trying to get the highest score possible with this team. We go for the little chest on the left, and we go straight ahead to the twins. The twins is a tricky fight, and is probably the fight that you get the lowest amount of points, since they gonna be used for this run to charge limit breaks and to prepare the fight for Ifrit itself. On the fight with the twins, you need to keep in mind that you need full HP on all your characters, because with my power I'm not going to be able to kill one of them before they do the AoE attack, as you can see. And with that, after the AoE attack, we just heal them with healing waves related to Tifa. That's why they are there. It's the only time that we mainly gonna heal during the dungeon. And after that, we just DPS as much as we can. One of the twins normally is the right one. When sigil phase starts, we're gonna break the sigils on the left twin first, the one that with full HP. The reason is when the sigils are broken, he stops attacking, and after that we just focus to kill the twin on the right side. As soon as he's dead, we're gonna start to DPS the other one as fast as we know, and with all the DPS that we can take. He's weak against ice, he's weak against earth. Sorry, my mistake, he's weak only against earth, not ice itself. And we just focus the DPS as we can. As soon as the first sigil break stops, the second sigil break will start, so he will not attack as fast as we expect, and with that we kill him quite easily without losing too much HP. Score boost, once again, we carry on the run, we don't use any items, we go straight to the chest in the end of the right side. And after that we just gonna kill the second group of minions that is the same as the first one, 2 dogs and a queen. They're gonna cast poison on us, Strategy is going to be the same. We cast ice, kill the dogs first, then the queen after, and only after we're going to use the cottage just to heal ourselves and to get ready for Ifrit's fight. After this group, as you expect, is the time that I'm gonna use the only item on the dungeon that is gonna be Cottage, just to put us 100% on HP and to get us ready for the last fight that is gonna be Ifrit. Related to Ifrit, not much that needs to be explained. I normally start the fight targeting Ifrit, casting Ice Breach. After that, just do the 3 limit breaks that we charge up with the twins, Somersault, Diamond Dust, and Judgment Bolt. With that, we kill the adds. We start to inflict some damage to Ifrit itself. As soon as the adds and the limit breaks are done, we're gonna start our DPS rush. We don't need to heal with Tifa at this moment. Ifrit normally targets one character at a time, he never attacks the same character 2 times, so you got more than time to spam all your abilities to get that damage in and reduce as much as you can his Ice Gouge on top of him to reduce the DPS itself. Ifrit will cast the ability Rush, and with that we're just gonna take the damage. It's more or less 3k DPS, to be completely honest. We're not gonna take that in consideration, and after he casts Rush we just carry on what we are doing, that we just max DPS until he basically die. We're gonna try to DPS before he casts Hellfire when he's doing his Sigil phase, and that's it for the run. Taking consideration of all my items and my equipment and the fact that I don't have bahamut level up enough to be more efficient on the run, and on top of that, because once again I'm not a whale and my account is only 200k with this team, I need to make sure that my damage output is quite effective, spreading it a little bit from the 3 characters instead of focusing on only one, since 3 characters casting abilities is faster than one single character with a massive amount of damage casting one single ability with these levels. Don't forget that without using bahamut, we don't really need to use any more items like Summoning Charge, and we are able to do 2 rotations of limit breaks, one in the King and one in Ifrit, making it more efficient for the run itself. With that, as you can see, I'm not on the top 10, that was not the purpose, but you can see that it's a fairly high score for the type of team that we are running and the power of the team itself. 179k, it's quite a good score, to be fair, with a 200k team, comparing to what I've been seeing on the Discords and what I've been have as a feedback from other players. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the guide helps you and give you some guidelines how to clear it without the perfect setup, without the perfect limit breaks, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Any questions, anything, just leave a comment. Find me on the Discord. I'm always with Tix and Paint Blades Discords. Sometimes I pass through Octopus Discord, so it's easy to find me on the community itself. Just send a message and I will try to reply as fast as I can. Have a great time. Hope you enjoyed the dungeon, and Good luck for your scores.